Hello, I'm Mbaya, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Halo Spartan Assault with footage taken from a selection of the missions available. Halo Spartan Assault is a pretty single-player top-down shooter which sees you running virtual missions based on the exploits of two Spartan soldiers, Davis and Palmer, where you will be tasked with defending objectives, destroying Covenant targets, and protecting VIPs in 30 missions overall. Now, that may seem like a lot, but the missions themselves are extremely short and seem to end just as things start to get interesting. I found that really ruined the flow of the game. That said, it can be good for quick play sessions where you might only have 5 minutes to play. The combat is fairly entertaining as you switch between a primary and secondary weapon or hurl a grenade into a group of grunts, even jumping in the odd vehicle to slaughter some Covenant, of which the usual roster of enemies can be found, from grunts and elites to the occasional brute. Weapons will be familiar to fans of previous Halo games and translate well, although they do lack some of the impact you'd probably expect. Before setting off on a mission, you can choose to apply skulls that increase the difficulty of the game in a variety of ways, such as removing most of the heads-up display or by making shields deplete when firing. Although you can also select the weapons and equipment, it's tied into an unlock system where you spend experience points that you earn for completing missions and level-specific or weekly challenges. Unfortunately, these unlocks only apply to the current mission you're attempting, and they don't remain unlocked even if you attempt the mission again, so are all but useless in earlier missions unless you're perhaps chasing a high score. Experience points don't come rolling in either, so you can really feel like you've wasted what you've just earned. So much so in fact that I ignored the unlocks and just went with what the mission starts with, picking weapons up as I went. The levels themselves are rather similar, although tend to have some things going on in the background to make you feel like you're in a larger conflict, which is a nice touch. The game has a fair number of not-so-invisible walls that often serve as spawn points for enemies, and is a rather linear experience, which again can be a plus for those high-score chasers because you'll know exactly what enemies to expect and when. Everything controls well with a keyboard and mouse, but I prefer playing with a controller for the twin-stick shooter feel. Disappointingly, graphics options are very light with only resolution, anti-aliasing and refresh rate available to alter. Even with a couple of the difficulty skulls activated, the game isn't very challenging, although you can expect to die from time to time from a lucky sticky grenade or a swift hit from a vehicle, which can be mildly frustrating as they come out of the blue and it feels like there was little you could do to avoid the situation. All said and done, Halo Spartan Assault is not a game I'd strongly recommend and seems a bit of a letdown given the setting. But if you're after an easy to play top-down shooter, what's on offer is pretty fair for around 3.5 hours of Halo themed shootiness. I'll leave you now with a little more footage of the game. Thank you very much for your time and happy gaming. Take care.